and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and today we are doing a simple makeup look. The first thing I do is my skincare, of course, and then I go in with a primer. I usually blend it with a brush and sometimes I just tap it into my skin. I don't rub it in like a cream, instead I tap it into my skin, like tap tap tap. But the next step is to put on a foundation. I put a little foundation because this is a simple everyday makeup, so we're not doing anything too much. So just 2 pumps on the side of my cheeks, and I just use that to, I just blend that all over my face. So in this video I'm going to be showing you my blending technique. Like a lot of things I'm going to be doing, or why this video is long, is because I purposely did not shorten my blending process just so you can see how much I blend in, because one of the mistakes I made when I was learning how to do my makeup is not blending very well. So the aim of this video is basically to teach you how long you should blend and what your skin should look like after you blend. So this is the final look for me. And the next thing I do is concealer. On this particular day, I realized that normally I don't use this many strokes of concealer, but anyways, I ended up blending it, as you will see later on in the video. Sometimes I do not put concealer on my smile line. It depends on how I am rushing. And then I realized that I did not draw my brows, so to do my brows I literally just use a gel and just use a brush to go with my natural eyebrow curve. I do not shape my eyebrows, like I don't use a concealer to form it. And ideally, if I am rushing and I want a simple makeup, I'm not going to draw my eyebrows. I've never drawn it, but if it doesn't take you a long time to draw your eyebrows, then you can do it. But if you don't, if you're looking for a simple makeup look, then you don't really have to draw your eyebrow. I place my bronzer on my cheekbone, and to basically find out where my cheekbone is, I suck in my cheeks, and then that way I just put it directly on the highlighted, or where you think your cheekbone is, and I put it on my forehead, I put it on the side of my jaw, and sometimes I put it on my eye. I didn't do on this particular day, but usually when I blend it all, then I just put a little bit on my eye, as you will see later on in the video. And to blend it, I just blend it downwards. For my jaw, I blend it downwards, but for my cheeks, I blend it upwards, if that makes sense. And once again, this video is going to just show how much I blend it into the skin. So one thing I like to do is blend it so that you don't see where the bronzer starts and where it ends, because I think another issue I had when I was learning is you can see where, for example, my concealer would end, the bronzer would start, the blush and everything. So I do dedicate a lot of time into blending as much as possible where it looks like a second skin. Another important thing that I do to get a good makeup finish is use brush for everything, and use a particular set of brush. I wish someone told me when I was learning that the brush you use can determine how much you can blend your makeup and how nice it looks, because there was a point where I was using a blender, a beauty blender, and that actually takes up a lot of the concealer rather than blending it into my skin. And also when I blend my concealer, I dab it rather than spreading it. When you're painting and you're just going across the board, that's not what you do. You basically tap 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 into your skin, and the particular brush you use, the design of it can make it easier to brush or to blend. So I got this brush in December, and genuinely when I started using it, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have gotten a brush like in this shape, because it helps you get into all the corners and helps you blend it well. So I really do focus a lot of time on blending, blend that thing, sister, blend the makeup. But yeah, I just make sure I also go over everything that I blend, just to make sure, you know, it sinks in very well. To better place your blush, I would advise to smile. You don't have to place your blush on your nose. That is optional. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, but it's just bringing more color to your nose. And you place your blush up above rather your bronzer, and you know, just like when I was applying the bronzer, I suck in my cheeks so I could find my cheekbone properly. Just like this, for the blush, you smile and then you place it on your upper cheeks or wherever you want your blush to, you know, to show off. I did realize that I put too much blush, so ideally I would say you should just go two circles rather than going three. And whenever you use, maybe you apply too much blush or too much concealer, take a separate brush, a brush that you don't use, and just dab it all over to blend it all in and to take off some of that blush. Before I apply my translucent powder, I go over the concealer again and just, you know, dab again, blend it all in before I use my translucent powder. And for this step, I think it's just a personal thing I do, just to make sure they are not like I don't have creases before I use my translucent powder. And of course, you dab some of the product off the translucent powder before you place it on your skin. And I am in love with this translucent powder. That day I literally walked into Boots and I was like, I need something, and the assistants there showed me that, oh, this was a new product at the time, and I absolutely love it, because the loose powder I was using previously, I feel like it gave me creases because of the way it was, or maybe the consistency of the translucent powder. So everywhere you have your concealer is basically where you put your translucent powder. And then I blend it in using a brush. And always remember, if you mistakenly put too much, just take a neutral brush and blend it all in, and you're good to go. Next, I take a powder bronzer, and where I placed my bronzer, the liquid bronzer, I just go over that with the powder bronzer, and my cheeks, my jaw, my forehead, and the side of my head, also my eye. And like I said, you can also put a little liquid blush on your eye and then go over it with the powder bronzer. Because this is a simple look, everything is just, you know, simple, not doing too much, going really, you know, very light. And as long as you're satisfied that the bronzer is bringing that warmth to your face, because that is the duty of a bronzer, to bring in, you know, that warmth, and then the blush is to bring in, you know, a little color back to your face. I hope no one comes for me about how messy my palette looks, but I've had that palette for years and I wanted to get a new one, but I can't seem to find it because it was a Patricia bright one. But yeah, apply your powder blush to your nose, and also this particular brush I'm using makes it so much easier to blend in your blush. I am going to say, if you can find a shape of this blush, of this brush, then that could help you make your life a lot more easier when it comes to blending. I realized that I wasn't liking the look of everything, so once again I took a neutral brush and, you know, I just blended everything, because on this brush I have no product on it, so I literally just go over everything. I just wanted to say, it's probably too late in the video. I'm not a makeup artist, but this is what works for me. So if this is an act, I actually don't know. I went into putting more blush because I realized that my blush wasn't showing as much This means that I do have to change my blush, but I'm a bit nervous when I change products because, you know, a black girl, your skin changes when you're in winter, when you're in summer. So now in winter my skin is a lot lighter, and then in summer is in summer it is darker. So I would say you don't have to go back in with a bronzer, but because I felt like it wasn't showing enough, I went back in to apply more. And right now I'm literally just using that neutral brush to go over everything and just blend as much as possible. The next thing I apply is my highlighter, and less is more, baby girls. I just apply it on my cheeks, on my nose, and on my forehead, so wherever you want to shine. And that is it. You use your setting spray. I do believe the setting spray you also use can bring out your makeup and your look. And do not forget to, you know, fan your face. So you spray your setting spray, put it all over your face, and then you just fan your face till it dries. I do apply my setting spray twice. Why? There's no particular reason, but I think I just like to do that to make sure every surface of my face is covered. And then when it dries, I go over with my brush to just dab everything down. Like I said, this is what works for me. And yeah, once again, I'm just showing you all how much I blend everything in, because I really did not want to edit anything out, so that you can see the full process of everything. To bring out my eye, what I do is I line it with a black liner. Girls, I got this thing from Primark, but if you have a proper eyeliner, then definitely use it. I use the color black, but I've seen people online use different colors. It could be the color of what you're wearing, it could be brown, but I go for black because it brings out my eye. And then I go over with an eyeliner, but because I am not good in that, I decided not to show that, and I did that off camera. Also my lashes, I did it off camera, because for that one, that would be another person. I'm not the best person for that. To line up my lips, I just use the same black liner or lip liner and put it, rub off basically what I'm doing in the video, because I'm not sure how to describe how to do that. And then I go with the Fenty lip gloss, and I do think this has been my favorite lip gloss for like the past year. Every time I'm like, let me learn a new lip gloss, but I never have time, especially now with a baby. When I'm rushing out of the house, I'm just like, go with what I know. But whenever I have new lip gloss designs, I'm going to definitely make a video and show you guys. And then after I put the lip gloss, I go over everything with a lip oil. So this makes your face look scrumptious, you know, look very, you know, just delicious. Okay. And one thing about me, I'm going to blend that thing. If I'm not satisfied, I go over everything with that neutral brush. And because I was going to be shooting later in the day, or if I'm going out because I don't want my baby to, you know, touch my face and, you know, mess up everything, I go with a fixing spray. And this fixing spray is Chef Kiss. And after I spray it, once again, I dab with my face, rather with a brush, and just to make sure everything, you know, looks good. And this is the finished look without nothing. You can definitely add a mascara to make everything look better, or apply your lashes. Thank you for watching.